Hello, this is a video about sewing tools that women generally don't use. I would say mostly don't use. Right now I'm holding what is a common device, the rotary cutting tool. It's a sharp circular tool, razor sharp, and you can protect it by pushing up on the button so that you don't cut yourself. But if you think about it, when you're cutting down into one of these special mats, a lot of the energy that you expend, as well as the sharpness of the blade, is being used into the mat so that you're using a lot more of the facility of this device that is wasted. In other words, you cut the cloth, but you're also cutting into the mat. Now, if you were to take a test and put cardboard underneath the cloth and cut, you would see that you're going to be cutting into the cardboard and into the cloth. In addition, this device is very useful, I guess, when you're cutting a straight line. They often show a person holding a ruler and then sliding this thing along the ruler. It's very rarely used when you're cutting some type of irregular shape following the contour, for example, of some pattern. Now, I use a tool that is considerably more powerful. One tool that I use is this skill tool. Try to get it lined up here so you can see the name. It's a self-sharpening tool that has a circular blade. And of course it has a protective button that you press and then the handle. Now this thing will cut multiple layers, and after you've had some practice, it will cut nice contours, etc. Very, very useful. And of course, because it has a foot, you're really putting all of your energy into the cloth. Nothing gets cut besides the cloth. So this is direct force on the cloth. Does a very clean cut, especially clean for knits and things like that. So this has been a very useful tool for me. It is also far more powerful and of course can cut multiple layers, denim and some curtain material and maybe even heavier canvas. I've also used it on a utility basis to cut things like pieces of rug and other heavy materials. I wouldn't suggest to use it on wood or anything, but they've even cut plastic with it, fiberglass and things like that. Kind of a utility tool. You can get it at Lowe's and online. But besides that, I have another tool here that's used, and this is a rotary cutter. Now I use this strictly for cloth, and I only use this when I have very heavy material like wool or denim and have multiple layers. Now this does not have a battery, it's corded, and I like that better because I have a kind of a prejudice to things that get plugged in versus these battery things that are okay, but I don't know, I don't trust them as much. This guy, on the other hand, is a real beast, and when you have it, it has a hair trigger. And when you pull that trigger, this thing goes off. You've got to be careful with this thing. I mean, you cut something, you unplug it, or they say, don't let kids around or whatever. The point is, treat it like as if it were a gun. Don't go fooling around with it because you don't want this thing to go wild on you. So it's very important to treat it with a lot of consideration. But it has some great features. It also has a sharpening feature, self-sharpening feature, and it also has a foot too. It also has a foot too, so that means you're only cutting material. You're not cutting not cutting down into anything besides the material. You're getting all the power on the material, far more effective, and it also creates an amazingly clean cut because, it's going, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of RPMs a minute, probably thousands. So, it's not kidding when it works. These are examples of cutting tools that I've used. In addition, I'd like to show you later other videos about tools that cross over into the hobby area and actually into the woodworking area that can be used for sewing. Thank you very much.